What's up, black men who are sexually disciplined? Create the life that they want. If you're a black man out there and you're trying to self improve and gain a grounded identity in being a black man, I have a deep dive guide from all the things of learning who to look up to in black history, eating healthier, becoming more financially literate, having a more calisthenics based workout, and also learning to come together on a daily basis with other black men to self improve on a daily basis and to see the black men can improve as a community, but you as an individual. As a black man, we have to internalize that to be the strongest version of myself, of yourself. But I have to do it for myself too. I have to internalize it too. You have to internalize it. I want to see all of us be the strongest version of ourselves. That guide will help us internalize. It will get us to internalize being the strongest version of yourself, of myself and of yourself. If you know you have to internalize that, because we all do as black men, the link for that will be in a bio section of my YouTube channel. Just click on that. The link will be right there. Internalize that and be the strongest version of yourself as a black man. Now, when we dive into sexual energy, all this really is your creative energy. And as black men, we lack creativity. People don't really understand. You see all this super degenerate stuff going on in the black community, and all it's doing is making the men more slaves. It's creating more mental slaves with the black men. All right. But when the black man, imagine if the black man controls his sexual energy, he'll become more of a creator. And the thing we lack in society is the black man having power, being a creator. Right now, we're in a place where we're being subject to the creator. We're being subject to the more powerful powers. But a lot of times, we're being subject to our own desires, and we can't operate on who we really are. We have to operate on what our body tells us, on what our sexual desires tell us to do, and then we do it. And I've been like that many times, man. And on a daily basis, it's a thing for me not to be lustful. It's a thing for me not to fall into that mentally, or just emotionally, and getting caught up with it, right? I try to keep my mind away from that and try to keep my mind in a healthy space about me having the life that I want and me having the woman that I want, right? And so I try to just put all my time into getting those things. But the thing we have to understand is the more you control yourself sexually as a man, the more you become a creator. Not only a creator within yourself, but the more black men will become creators in society, become creators in the black community. Right now, we like that. We lack that because I honestly believe nowadays they're trying to put a black man out of his position, out of his natural position in the black community. They really want the woman to be the man and the woman, and they're trying to effeminize and break the man down to a level where he can't control himself. He doesn't have any assertiveness or masculinity. And it starts with getting caught up with watching the websites, masturbating, having all type of women, and you don't care, and you just doing it strictly for the sex. That's how they get us, right? That's how they get us out of our strong mentality. That's how they get us out of our nature in a lot of ways, and we become self-destructive to ourselves where we can't rise to that next level, right? And I think a lot of black men out there won't ever even try to listen to me or listen to this message or what I'm saying. Why? Because they can never stop trying to fulfill that lustful desire. They can never stop trying to do that, right? And they can't even try to go into a healthy outlet with it. They have to do it relentlessly and fulfill that because they're addicted, and they like being addicted because they think that that's what makes them a man. When in reality, that's what makes you a loser. It makes you a loser when you can't control yourself, right? And that's why you see a lot of black men out there have 6, 7, 8 kids, 8, 9, 10 baby mamas, and they're broke. They don't have anything. They never was able to create something that they saw in their mind, in their imagination, and they never could put it out into the world, right? And that's really the pleasure for a man, for a black man, is for you to create something from within here, not just procreate with the woman, right? And that's all about that's the mentality I'm in. I want to create from here before I procreate with the woman, right? And I think that's the important thing to understand, and that's how you have a human being rise to the next level, right? When you're able to create from within your mind first, and then after that, that's when the primal desires and having sex and procreating, because that's important too, right? That's also important because that just goes to show you how powerful your sexual energy is, right? Your sexual energy is powerful. That energy can cause you to create no whole another human being, but it can also cause you to create a legacy for yourself out in the real world, whether that be through a business, through something you created out in the world that people use, and that's the thing we have to understand, man, that black men, we lack being in the position where we're controlling things. We're constantly being controlled. We're constantly being abused, right? This actually goes into my whole topic of this channel. That's why black men have to create their own governments. So that they are the creators. They are the ones that's controlling everything. Right now, we will always be oppressed by a government that only looks out for their people, you know? And a lot of times they only look out for the people that's in the government. You get what I'm saying? So the thing is, what we have to understand, we need sovereignty. Black men have to gain sovereignty and control over themselves. And that starts with controlling your sexual energy and being a creator as an individual. And then you gotta come together with the other black men who are like that. And that's when you can create your own government, your own banks, your own schools. All right? That's what we have to do. But a lot of black people want to sit here and not be a creator. They rather keep depending on the creator who abused you, who enslaved you. You know, they want to be subject to a power that enslaved them. Why would they want to be that? Why would they want that? Right? Black men that are creators and who are going to gain control of themselves. No, we have to create our own government, and yeah, that may come by a lot of violence. That may come by a lot of things. You know, it's not going to be nothing nice. It's not going to be a Martin Luther King. This is not going to be a sit-in. This is going to be black men who are powerful and strong coming together, changing the culture, changing everything, and we're going to have power over ourselves, and that's where we're going to be our strongest and our most powerful. So that's what we really have to internalize, being a creator, and that starts with you controlling yourself sexually as a man. That's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.